some of you guys might already be noticing this who are in the coaching space, is that a lot of the strategies that you used in the beginning of this year, or maybe even last year if you've been here for a little bit, are no longer working the way that they once did. And if that's the case for you, you might be scrambling a little bit, or maybe you're just getting a little worried about what the future is going to hold for you. And what I want to talk to you guys about today is how the strategy that you used this year in 2022 is probably not going to work for you in 2023. And if you are watching this in 2023, I will tell you guys that this is probably going to be a valid video for you guys for the foreseeable future. What I'm going to share with you guys today is what I personally believe is necessary for you guys to crush it in your business moving into the new year. And I think these are things that are genuinely going to stick with us for a very, very long time. First, let's look at what a lot of people have been doing in 2022 and the years before that to be able to generate leads in their business. I personally have been sharing my story and sharing who I am online for the past 8 years or so as I make this video. I will tell you guys, just from that alone, I've been able to build a lot of community and generate a lot of leads. I actually have said this in several of my videos before, is that because I came from such a big influencer background, I used to get a lot of inbound leads and people who would just apply for my coaching. That's not so much the case as much anymore. We do a lot of outreach, we do a lot of community building, and that's some of what I'm going to talk to you guys about today for lead gen. But for some of you guys who maybe have smaller followings or have been in the industry for only a year or so and you don't have a really big network, you're probably doing a lot of cold outreach or a lot of DM outreach. And if you're not doing it right, you might just be doing things here and there like in-person networking to try and get a few people getting some referrals in the door. But here's what I truly believe is that in this next year, and especially with the way that the market is swinging, we're not going to be able to get clients on board and have that fast of a turnaround time like we used to. Meaning that if you cold DM somebody and try to get them on a call same day or next day, they're less likely to buy. And a lot of that is because the way that the market is shifting, there's a lot of competition out there nowadays. They have to look at, why should I choose you over anybody else? There are a lot of coaches doing outreach, which means a lot of people get DMs from a lot of different coaches every single day. So why are they going to pick you above anybody else? So that makes the buying time a lot longer for people because they're going to be a little more skeptical as they work to get a coach on board. Let's talk a little bit about what I personally believe is necessary if you want to crush it going into the new year. So there are 3 things that I personally think are an absolute necessity if you want to crush it in your business and consistently generate leads, consistently get calls booked, and consistently sign clients. So here's the big thing. For the strategy that we use, we've always been a really big nurture community. And what I mean by this is by the time that people get on the phone with us, they already know what they're in for and they pretty much know that they're signing up. And this is something that I'm super grateful that we've actually been able to build over the past 5 years or so, and in our business coaching in the last 3 years or so. I'm really excited that the market is shifting because this is something that I feel like we've been prepared for a very long time. The first thing that I believe that you're going to need going to this new year is you absolutely need to build a personal brand. Now, when you build a personal brand, you're able to sell anything to anybody, because if they get to know you, if they get to like you and trust you, they're going to pick you over anybody else. So if you're looking to really get the trust of other people and expand your audience, what that's going to look like is you being able to show up in a way that's very authentic and just consistently post content that actually speaks to who you are. Because nowadays, a lot of people say Instagram is your business card, your social media is your business card. Also, a lot of people are looking for coaches that they actually resonate with and that have been in a position that they've been in before. Now, even if you're not who your ideal client is, or you're not the previous version of your ideal client, they're still going to pick you based off of who you are and your personality. There's a lot of other things that go into how someone chooses a coach than just their actual branding and just what they offer in their program. Think about what you would do and how you would go and pick a coach for yourself. Maybe you are someone who's watched our videos religiously. What keeps you coming back here? Maybe did you go look at my Instagram? What about my Instagram where you're like, oh, this is cool, like I vibe with her personality? Think about what you would buy into and think about how your ideal client would want to buy into you. A lot of people forget that who you are is a part of your personal brand. So I personally believe if you want to crush it this next year, you absolutely need to stay consistent with content and you absolutely need to build an audience through building up a personal brand. Now, the second thing, this is one of my favorite things ever, is that we need to be focusing on lead nurture. And what I mean by this is you have to build out community. Because the buying time is going to be extended, the reason it's extended is because a lot of people are skeptical. So if you don't want to be doing cold outreach, here's what I recommend. Something that we do and we do very, very frequently is we've looked at scaling out other lead generation sources. So this could look like an email list. It could look like you doing free opt-ins so you get people into your email list. list or maybe a Facebook group. We just launched our Discord community, which by the way, if you want to join, I'll link that down below for you guys. The really cool part about this is that we're giving away so much free value and we're showing people what the inside of our program looks like before we even get them in our program. Because we're consistently going out and bringing people into our community and then having conversations with them, what happens is by the time that we ask them to get on a phone call with us, they already know who we are and they already know what we offer. And so we're not just doing cold outreach and then expecting someone to buy a high ticket program. Especially if you're charging $500 a month, maybe your program's a 10K program, you don't really expect someone to just get outreach that day and then get on a call and sell. That can happen, and it used to happen a lot for us, but you'll notice the buying time is starting to get longer. You need to have a retargeting strategy and a lead nurture strategy that actually gets people into your community, and then that community incubating them so that you can then get them into your program. And that leads me to the third thing here, adding in free value. This is kind of similar to building out a community and lead nurture, but here's what I really recommend is that if you don't understand the messaging of your offer, meaning that you don't know what gets your client from A to B, you have to break that down first. And that's what's going to help you provide better free resources and free value. Now, I'm not just talking about free value in the sense of content or just posting reels or posting on your story. I'm talking about what resources can you give people that show them a little bit of the taste of what your program looks like. Meaning, for example, I'll give you something that we have, and I'll actually link this down below for you guys, is we have a business starter pack. And when you opt into our business starter pack, it is a 5-day mini course where we teach you everything from becoming a CEO to optimizing your day to learning how to generate leads. If we get you in through our business starter pack and you love it, awesome. Maybe you're interested in working with us, and that's a free resource. So what you want to be doing is you want to be building up your audience through giving them free value that shows a little bit of what you teach inside. What you'll notice is we have 5 pillars at WWBA, and each day of our business starter pack covers one of those pillars. By the time someone gets into one of our free resources, they already understand what our program has to offer. It's important that you guys are building up free resources that show people the what and the why, meaning it's showing them what's important for them to be able to make progress and why that thing is important. Now, where the how comes in is where they actually invest inside of your program or into your coaching. Giving your audience as many free resources and free value as you possibly can is going to be a key element going into the new year, because there are a lot of people out there, and so it's kind of like a war on who could actually nurture somebody the absolute best that they possibly can. So this is just my personal take, and I will tell you guys, I'm so fortunate because this is something that we've worked on for years. Even in Q4, even in those slower months, we fortunately haven't really taken a big dip. We have a very consistent lead flow, and the reason is because we have an email list, we have a Discord community, we have a Facebook group where we've nurtured people, and we're constantly reaching out to people, and instead of just trying to sell them right away, it's like, hey, are you actually a good fit for our community? And because of that, we've been able to be really selective with the women that we bring into our program, because we're bringing people in and nurturing them to see if they're even going to be a good fit. If this is something that you've struggled with and you're wondering why your lead gen is going down, it might mean that you just need to focus on pivoting a little bit more. And if you're having trouble right now with providing more authentic communication with your audience, posting content consistently, and getting content out that actually hones in on what your offer is, I'm actually going to link this down below for you guys as well. I'm just full of it today, but our organic growth method course is an incredible resource for you guys. It's a one-time payment of $397. You guys can also do a payment plan. And this course shows you how to generate leads consistently, build your personal brand. And that's exactly why we called it the Coach's Organic Growth Method, because it's going to show you how to grow organically and build out your personal brand. So I'll also link that down below for you guys. I would love to hear your feedback on this, and I'd love to hear what you think you need to work on the most out of these 3 things going into the new year. I'll catch you guys in the next video.